welcome. My name is John Kinnear. I'm the Vice President of Marketing with INFINii, and it is my pleasure to have an opportunity to spend the next few minutes with you, sharing the INFINii opportunity, a little bit about who we are and what we do, where we're doing it, and where our project is going, and how you could potentially be involved and the effect it can have on your life. So if you're looking at this information for the very first time, or perhaps you're already a member of INFINii, already using our platform of products, welcome to you. For those of you looking at this information for the first time, we're going to talk a little bit about the origins of the company, who's behind the company, kind of success that we've had so far in our brief history, and where we're going to be headed in the next couple of years and beyond. The first thing I'd like to do, though, is point out maybe the obvious to many of you, and that is that there are significant changes that are happening not only in North American business today and the effect that technology is having on all of our lives, but really the effect that it's having on individuals that are living in Europe, South America, throughout Africa, throughout the Asian continent, and really all around the world. And what's driving these changes is something that affects all of us, because we have access, all of us around the world, and that is the way technology is starting to have a very significant impact on the way we do things. In fact, technology is starting to cause some major shifts and upheavals regardless of where you're living around the world, because it's having very similar effects. It's having downsizing effects as businesses have the ability to become more automated. We're starting to see these new technologies really replace our old economy in the way that we used to do things. And a lot of people are getting caught on the pinch. Now, we predicted these things were going to happen 20 years ago. There was talk perhaps that there was going to be this real challenges as we moved from sort of an industrial technological revolution into more this tech-based change, because no one knew exactly how things were going to shake down and the effect this technology was going to have. But what's starting to happen, of course, right now is very, very significant movement in the way that money changes hands, that the way tasks are performed, who performs those tasks, and regardless of where you were, you can see from some of these newspaper headlines the types of needs that we're going to have moving forward. From 201 million people out of work today. This is 2015-2016 statistics based on the International Labor Organization. A shrinking middle class. A shrinking middle class in the U.S. is one thing, but starting to see a shrinking middle class in India and China and a lot of these developing countries where middle class growth is a very new thing, that's even more troubling. And then, of course, to see some of these unemployment numbers like we're seeing in Europe, in Spain, in Greece, exceeding 45% for some demographics. It's quite staggering, to say the least. And so it's important, though, this is really not meant to be a negative presentation, but it's important, though, that we're very much in touch with the current state of things all around the world in a number of different areas, both negative and positive, because for every downturn, for every challenge, there's an up. There's always new economic opportunities that are being born in the ashes of old ones. And this is one of the circumstances that's happening right now with INFINii. One of the things that we're starting to see happen is that technology that's causing so many of these changes and so much frustration for so many in labor forces is also proven to be an equal opportunity employer, providing an awful lot of opportunity if we can position ourselves correctly, if we can have our eyes open and really be sensitive to opportunities that really are surrounding us right now today. I want to point a couple obvious examples out. If you recognize the Uber logo, Uber's in the news all the time, whether you love Uber or whether you hate Uber. It's something that arrived on the scene very recently, 2009. It already has a market valuation of $50 billion. Now, this is just a phone app that's gone head-to-head with an industry that's more than a century old, and that's the global taxi industry. A monopoly, some might say, and obviously very tough nut to crack. And these guys have been able to do it, $50 billion market valuation, and they don't own a single car. Same thing with Airbnb. You take a look at the value of a company like Hilton Hotel as an example. Hilton Hotel chain started in 1955. has a global value. Obviously, some premier real estate all around the world. You can imagine Hilton Hotels and Resorts owns. And their market valuation is $19.5 billion. This website, this isn't even an app. This is a website that connects home and apartment owners all around the world with travelers that are looking for maybe a room or perhaps a half of an apartment or home, or the whole thing. Connects a user or a need with a service, and it does so really effectively, and it does so really efficiently. We've got this website with a market valuation that's past Hilton, and they don't own any real estate. It really blows my mind when I take a step back and look at these things for what they really are. Taking the needs that consumer base globally has and helping those consumers meet those needs. So if we're willing to embrace change and not just panic in the sight of it, then there's opportunities that abound for us. But I grew up in a retail environment. My background, even though I have had 21 years in network marketing, and I've been very, very fortunate in that my first network marketing business that I built for myself in my 20s went on to pay me multiple millions of dollars. It was a truly amazing experience. But for half of my young adult life, I was a retail guy, and I had a retail business in a busy shopping mall, just like you see here, except the mall wasn't abandoned and empty. And the way that this technology is affecting retail is really quite mind-blowing. And it's also affecting retail in a very negative way globally as well. Again, not just in North America, not just in Europe, but all around the world. Now, these are numbers from CNN, and this was 2015, so they're very current numbers. This is fourth quarter numbers for last year. So as you can imagine, this is going into Black Friday and the holiday season, Christmas shopping time. Best Buy, Sears, Macy's, Target, Walmart. Look at these numbers. They're down halfway through the second half of this fourth quarter. This is mind-blowing. So some of these are huge companies that we all would have grown up with, regardless of how old we are. And these businesses that were looking to a holiday season, in some cases, to save their year, had devastating numbers. Now, take a look at this. So while retail businesses are shutting down all around the world, there's one sector of the global economy that's absolutely exploding. Look at these numbers. Amazon.com, up 117%, same period of time. It's really something. So online sales are absolutely exploding. 15 to 20% growth per annum. That's absolutely remarkable growth, and it's been happening for a number of years now. Over $300 billion for these four combined companies during 2014. Facebook, Google, eBay, and Amazon. So, I want you just to consider for a moment that these are the hot ticket companies right now. They're multinationals. People recognize these company brands all around the world. Now imagine if you could position yourself, when we talk about trends and opportunity, imagine if you could position yourself so that all four of these companies would be willing to find you customers, process payments for you, deliver products for you, and support those customers that they found for you. Sound too good to be true? I'm just going to share with you our business model in a moment, and I think that if you've never seen this before, I think that you're going to be pretty surprised and very enthusiastic. So this huge shift that's taking place from offline to online is one of the biggest trends that we've seen in decades, and it's creating opportunities for all of us. Because while we're seeing struggles happen all around the world, these opportunities that are also being represented from the shift to online is also relevant all around the world. And brands that we all know, we're familiar with, some brands that we love, are all involved in this. They're all involved in making this shift online, whether it's in Canada or the United States, whether it is in France or the UK or Germany or China or South Korea, Japan, Brazil, and Australia. So really the whole globe is recognized and represented. By the way, this is the top 10 e-commerce markets in the world. This is the top 10 list. So literally covering the whole planet. And what's happening is e-commerce has become a $1 trillion industry. In fact, the research firm eMarketer is already projecting $3.5 trillion within the next 5 years. $3.5 trillion. Staggering growth. Now, what's amazing, though, is the $1.67 trillion that was represented last year globally that we expect to double in the next 3 to 5 years. only represented about 2% of retail transactions, only 2%. What we're seeing as a trend, the arrow points straight up. So as we start to have e-commerce represent 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 or 15% of all retail traffic, you can imagine what those numbers are going to do. And as broadband continues to spread around the world, and internet access continues to become a right and not a privilege, and more people are interconnected, we're just going to see these numbers continuing to grow. So let me share with you just a few minutes on how our model, our platform works, and what makes it so unique. So the way our system works is quite simple. Now you can see we've got a Google search on the computer screen, and it says Tiffany style lamps. In fact, you can see off on this particular computer screen on the right-hand side, all these different types of Tiffany style lamps. This is shop on Google. Well, Google's platform for shopping is called Bonanza. Maybe you've used it, maybe you haven't. You've probably used eBay. I'm sure you probably had a look at Amazon before. The cool thing about this is our platforms allow you to generate profit without inventorying anything, without having any upfront costs, without spending money to generate traffic, to generate customers, no shipping or management costs, and the model is already proven. In fact, our users of this platform have generated more than $2.5 billion in sales in the first 2 years. And what's remarkable is that our stats show that our members using our platform earn more than 6 times what other eBay consumers are doing if they try to generate money with eBay, and more than 7.2 times more than others that are trying to sell on Amazon for profits. So obviously a testament, very much strong testament to the effectiveness of the model. So the idea is really that we have an opportunity now to piggyback on the companies that are multinational and are making a lot of noise. And we can do it without becoming technicians. We can do it without becoming experts, and we can do it without chasing individuals that are within our database if we don't want to. We can park ourselves in front of our computer 30, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours a day, whatever we feel like doing, and we can get into a routine, and we can run a profitable business from home, and we can do it literally from a tablet, from a laptop, from our smartphone within an hour a day. Now, what's remarkable, though, is the kind of success that some of our members are having. Let me share this very simple example. It's going to highlight how we do exactly what we do. So on this particular Amazon page, you can see that there's a little stuffed monkey called Ollie the Monkey. Now, Ollie the Monkey is selling for $8.96 on Amazon all day long. Now, when we take that data and we enter it into the INFINii system, and we make sure that we've identified that Ollie the Monkey is selling on eBay all day long for $17.95, we realize that we can use this platform to very quickly make a $9.02 profit every single time Ollie the Monkey sells. But the best part is you can scale this business as large as you like, and you don't have to be isolated to Ollie the Monkey alone. In fact, you don't have to be isolated to Amazon versus eBay or Amazon versus Bonanza or eBay versus Bonanza. You can expand out past that very effectively. In fact, as you start getting into international sites like Alibaba or this related site from Alibaba called AliExpress, you can see that the opportunities only continue to grow. So this is an iPhone 6 wallet/carrying case. Now, so this is a little case that's got the built-in tripod for your phone to watch a video or to take pictures, hold your credit cards and your wallets, etc. Well, this product is for sale on AliExpress for $3.52, and a very, very similar looking product, same features, all day long for $28.99. Now, if you don't believe me, you go to Amazon right now and you type in leather carrying case iPhone 6, and you're going to find cases ranging from $15 all the way up to $50. So these are very, very popular items, and if you take a look at how many times they're selling, these are an item that is moving an awful lot. So there's a lot of opportunity for you all day long to make a $25 profit with this comparison. Now, again, if you're someone that tends to be out about all the time on the go, you can also download an Amazon scanning app. And when you're doing your normal shopping or running your family activities, if you find something that you think is a remarkable deal, instead of guessing, you can be sure. Scan the tag on that item, and the application will tell you immediately what that product is selling for on Amazon right now. So maybe you're in a store getting something for the family or for yourself, and you happen to see something that just went on sale. Maybe it's clearance, and the company's dumping these things for a loss just to clear them out so they can make room for other inventory that they need to put onto the floor shelf. You can grab these items if you scan them and realize you can make significant profits. And again, that's money in your bank all day long. And it's technology that's doing the work for you. You're not having to do it. So let's take a look at some of the income opportunities from these three different options, whether it's Amazon, eBay, whether it's using international sites, or whether it's shop and scan. All three of these combined represents a profit of $49. Now, if we were to do that with 50 different listings, just 50, and many of our successful distributors that are using these platforms have many, many, many times more than 50, you're looking at a gross profit of about $2,400. There's fees that Amazon and other sites charge you. So even minus fees, you're looking at a $2,000 part-time from home, an hour-a-day business. It's consistent, that you can absolutely count on once you've developed these skill sets and know how to use these automated platforms to capitalize on them. Now, what's really neat about this, though, is it's an opportunity to actually be in control of your own hours from home, and all of the training that you're going to need is absolutely included in this, so that you don't have any sort of a tedium you have to go through on a regular basis. Now, I'll tell you that we have literally hundreds and actually into the thousands of individuals that are generating what anyone on the call would consider a very significant part-time income. And at the same time, though, we have individuals that are using these platforms, believe it or not, that in 2 short years have become millionaires. Really quite remarkable. So let's touch on exactly what platforms are available, because we've been talking about these platforms. First one, believe it or not, is available for only $49.95 a month. And for that platform, you're actually going to learn how to create listings on eBay, create listings on Amazon, get these listings up, how to use the app that we talked about, the shopping app, how to bundle products, how to scale up your business, how to create listings and create titles so that a customer shopping on Amazon or eBay go to your listing and buy from you rather than buy from someone else. All of these secrets, 2 years of accumulated data, is all going to be yours. You can access on videos whenever you want. You can re-watch those videos whenever you want. You also have access, though, in addition to that library of software, very specific software, the Advanced Listing Creator, a Bonanza Listing Creator, and Eloquent Product Research Guide. So even if you're someone who, let's say, for example, isn't the shopper in the family, and you're not let's just say you wouldn't consider yourself very much in touch with what the world is purchasing today, don't worry about it. Use some of the software and have it help guide you to where the action is, so you can profit on some of those popular products that are moving right now. And so as we continue with this program, Prime is our entry-level platform, and then Surge is the next platform up. First of all, it's important you understand that Surge includes all of the Prime software and all of the Prime features. So all of that video material, as well as the automation, is already included in Surge. So with Surge, where we're learning now is to scale our business up, to start taking our business beyond Amazon and eBay and into those international sites that I showed you earlier, how to use things like Shopify, WooCommerce, how to learn how to take advantage of Facebook and work with customers, pay-per-click advertising from YouTube, and all sorts of advanced e-commerce training that will really start to boost your business and ultimately boost your sales. And then finally, Excel. And Excel is that platform. That's our third and final platform. It's $399 a month. And as you would imagine, it includes all of Prime and all of Surge features and software inside of it. But more than that, this is where you start to learn how to build your own brand. Anything that might interest you. Perhaps you're a runner. Perhaps you're someone who loves paintball on the weekends. Perhaps you are involved in barbecuing on the weekends, or you're a tailgater with football. Whatever that passion of yours is, you could learn how to turn that passion and products that are available globally for sale, and how to spin that with your passion and really start to brand yourself and brand those products in a very unique way. Now, all of our members that are using these platforms to start creating the significant incomes, like $40,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $60,000 a month, they're all Excel members, and they've started to brand themselves and learn how to use things like fulfillment by Amazon and some of the things Amazon is willing to do to help you push your business more to that international level. Now, as far as training goes, in addition to having that video library we've already talked about, you also have opportunities for more of an interactive training environment. And this is where you can really start to hammer this and really internalize this data that you're going to start developing these new skill sets with what we call a masterclass training. And then there's also masterclass Q&As, and there's also a Saturday morning e-commerce training that will be available to you as well. And it says in brackets, e-commerce and team building. So as you start to develop a feel for owning and running your own e-commerce business, if you choose, and I often do, I mean, when I first got involved in network marketing, once I realized that this was real and I could actually profit from what I was doing, of course, the things I wanted to do was share it with people that mattered to me. And exactly the same thing is the case here. Once you've realized that not only can you do this, but other people that you care about could also be successful at this, well, then you're more than welcome to share this with them as well, and we absolutely reward you for doing it. And then we're also having live training events that consistently get a 5-star review. These are opportunities for you to go down to for a weekend and actually meet individuals that are creating $1 million a year in sales, and to show and to learn firsthand what they're doing to really specifically customize their businesses. And when you start learning some of these little secrets, these edges that they've developed over the couple of years they've been running these platforms, boy, does it really unlock the possibilities for you as well. Now, with the masterclass, though, there's also an opportunity for you to receive what we call an EEC, which is an expert e-commerce certification, where you actually receive a certification, but more than that, you can also represent us as a certified trainer if that's something that also appeals to you. And you have opportunities to travel and really to maximize your e-commerce business in ways that would take you potentially outside of your home office if that's something that also appeals to you. So this is the part of the presentation where I want to share with you a few details of how you can take this data as you start to watch these videos, use this software to really create something new and special for yourself. This is information on how you could spend as little as an extra $10 a month and completely unlock our entire rewards plan. Now, there's multiple ways that we earn within this rewards plan, and I'm going to show you what that $10 a month can unlock for you. The first and the most obvious, of course, is you're going to generate retail profits, and entirely up to you, but potentially an awful lot of retail profits from your e-commerce business. And then, of course, if you are an INFINii member and you're simply listening to this to continue to work on internalizing this information, keep in mind, of course, we have INFINii Network that just went live, and we have INFINii Marketplace that we're right around the corner from going live. Each one of these platforms, additional platforms, is another opportunity for you to profit. So those things will be incorporated into PowerPoints as soon as they're officially launched. But if you want to start participating in INFINii Network right now, you simply go into your back office and you click Partner Plus, and it's going to open a whole new world of online promoting to help build a database from total strangers that may also be interested in doing what you're doing, which is making money from in front of your computer. Now, on to the rewards plan, though. The first actual part of the rewards plan that you can earn from is anytime anyone selects either a Prime for $50 or Surge for $150 or Excel for $400, one of those platforms, and you are the sponsor, you're the individual that they heard about the project through, you're entitled to 15% as a fast start bonus of that platform. The second way that you can earn, the third way we pay in the rewards plan, is called a personal beginner bonus. So this is a bonus that's a first 30 days only bonus. It's an opportunity to put a quick $400 into your pocket. And by the way, one of the reasons that you want to focus on using this rewards plan is as you start to build your e-commerce business, of course, one of the things that's going to happen is you're going to start finding deals. You're going to find deals that you want to take advantage of to turn those into additional profits on your e-com business. And I can't think of a better way to run a business from home than to use INFINii profits from the rewards plan to continue to feed your e-commerce business, to really double dip and maximize your profitability. So This is why I usually encourage everyone to get started on their rewards plan first. Find 2 or 3 or 4 friends that they would like to work with for a couple of reasons. First of all, there's solidarity in that. There's you watching videos and them watching videos, and having someone that started at the same time that you started, you can spitball ideas and ask questions to and do research with. I just find it's a lot more fun to get involved in new projects as a small team rather than by myself. That's just me. So with this personal beginner bonus, as I share this with others, and see how quickly I start generating a payout. 200 business volume. Well, we know that Surge is $150, and it also represents 150 BV. So when I have one friend that got involved with Surge and one friend that got involved with Prime, I've generated 200 BV, and it kicks out $50 for me. And as I continue to accumulate personally sponsored or personally enrolled BV, I just start unlocking more and more and more, 50, 100, 200, and ultimately the full $400 for the personal beginner bonus. And then from that personal bonus, we grow into a team builder bonus. Now, the team builder bonus is really unique because this is, you can see the SSSE. So these are individuals that got involved, for example, at Surge and Excel. Now they're gray. These are the people that you personally enroll. Now you have an opportunity to earn on anything, any action they do as far as sharing this with their friends, with the people that matter to them. So now you're also earning on their growth. So they're earning personal beginner bonuses from that activity, and you're earning team builder bonuses from that same activity, up to $1,000, and you can do that on 2 separate occasions. So you can earn a total of $2,000 from your team builder bonus. That's a great way to throw some quick cash into your pocket and use that $2,000 to continue to further your e-commerce success. Now, the fourth way we earn is something called a dual team bonus. Dual team is exactly what it sounds like. Dual meaning 2. There's a left side and there's a right side to your business. In this particular case, you can see Mark represents top of the right side of my business, or left side of my business, and Beth represents the top of the right side of my business. Now, as they do the same thing, my business starts to grow, and again, business volume starts to accrue just like it did in the team builder bonus, and I start to earn from that dual team bonus. In fact, earn is probably a bit of an understatement, given that I can earn up to $50,000 a week from my dual team part of the compensation. The 6th way I earn is something called INFINII Pay. And this is really right at the center. This is the spine of this very powerful rewards plan, and I'll tell you why. While the dual team can generate an awful lot of money, $50,000 a week times 4 weeks in a month is $200,000 a month. That's a huge, huge pay. However, where the INFINII Pay becomes even more dynamic is every person that I've personally shared INFINII with, this becomes what we call a line of lineage. And with INFINII Pay, for every single line of lineage, even when my business is just sort of still in the beginner intermediate phase at director rank, you can see that I'm starting to earn per line of lineage. And if you follow that all the way down, each individual line of lineage can also pay me up to $50,000 every single week. And just represented on this graphic beside this chart says you, and then it shows 4 unique lines of lineage, and then it shows those people starting to create their own lines of lineage. And as you can imagine, as this continues to move, and you have the ability to earn a fixed percent, not a diminishing percentage, but a fixed 5% all the way down as far as this needs to go, this becomes an extraordinarily dynamic rewards. Now, the 7th way we earn, this is rather unique because it's called a global bonus. So when you are very much in touch with not only your e-commerce business, but earning with the rewards plan, and you start to hear stories of how e-commerce is taking off in Mexico or in Brazil or in Australia, but you yourself have no intention or don't have any data, any contacts to go build your business in those markets that are receiving INFINII extremely well, never fear. Because as you start getting into those intermediate ranks like director and senior director and beyond, you now have access to what we call a global bonus pool. So even though Russia might be exploding or China might be exploding or South Korea might be exploding, it doesn't matter if you're not there because you're going to earn some of the profits that are being generated from those markets from the global bonus program. So you get the benefit either way. And then number 8 is what we call an elevation bonus. There's up to $10 million available in bonuses, far more than you're going to need to run your e-commerce business, but certainly more than enough to set you up for life as well as you continue to build up this plan. And this is, again, starting at the director rank, as I mentioned before, which is sort of a beginner intermediate rank. You have a total, if you look on the total column, $10,000 as a director bonus, and then 20, and then 50, and then 90, and ranging all the way up to $2.5 million for global ambassador. And the most important thing to keep in mind here is that these are cumulative bonuses. So when you get to one, and then you reach senior director and get to another one, you're actually earning the $10,000 plus the $20,000, plus the $50,000, plus the $90,000. So there's always something for you to be working towards. It gives you a very significant payday for reaching that next rank, next degree of success. And then the last bonus that we have is something called a golden hammock. It's a little bit of a play on words. You know, when you retire out of corporate America and you get that golden watch or a golden handshake, depending on terminology that's used in your office, this gives you an opportunity to earn a residual income for up to 10 years. You hit ranks, you continue to get paid out even after the elevation bonus has been sent. So it's a very, very dynamic bonus that will keep you in a very high standard of living for a long time to come. So at this point, what I would like you to consider is 3 very simple steps in moving forward. If you've seen anything that's caught your eye or that's piqued your interest, I'd like you to consider reaching out to the person who asked you to attend this webinar, letting them know which of the 3 memberships are most appropriate for you in the beginning, whether it's Prime or Surge or Excel. And then if you are going to move forward, I would strongly recommend that you ask for some help with your friend on what it will take for you to reach that $20,000 director bonus. Remember we mentioned director is a $10,000 bonus. Well, when you reach the director level within 90 days, we'll double that and give you an extra $10,000, which is the 90-day bonus, $20,000 total. This would be something I would strongly encourage you can strive for. Regardless of where you live, you have very, very significant opportunity at hitting this $20,000 bonus and really setting your e-commerce business up the right way using INFINii dollars instead of your own. So with that, I would like to thank you very much for your time, for your attention. I hope this has been some help to you. Please reach out to the friend that asked you to attend the presentation, and I look forward to speaking with you very soon.